It is Monday, August 24th, 2026. This is another edition of Baseball Today. It is presented to you by T-Mobile. That is my man, Trevor Plouffe. I am Chris Rose, producer Dan, along for the ride as well, as I am back from my 10-day roadie. Feel relaxed, ready to go, and you're about to leave me and head off to where?
Sacktown.
Ah.
Yeah, you're only home for a couple days.
Yes, and then we get to see each other for a little floor ball. We cannot wait. That's going to be a blast, but gosh, it was an exciting weekend in the baseball world. Let's get to it. Very special tip of the cap. I want to introduce you to Mark Marilla, who threw out the first pitch before the Twins-Padres game this weekend in San Diego. He was a Minnesota native. He has twice battled a brain tumor. First time ended his playing career, and he was a part of Team USA more than 30 years ago. Then he became the Padres bullpen catcher for 17 years. The brain tumor returned, so he had to retire from that. He is currently a scout for San Diego. Just a wonderful story just to see him out there, and obviously has tremendous ties to both franchises.
Yeah, it's amazing. Big tip of the cap to him to survive that. I mean, that's a long, lengthy career in Major League Baseball as well, and to continue on doing that and the battles he's had to go through. I don't know, man. That's stuff like that is very inspiring to me. So,
yeah, there were a bunch of first pitches I could have talked about today. That one, though, it hits you in all the feels. So, Mark, keep doing your thing. Continue to be a great scout for the San Diego Padres, who continue to play some outstanding baseball. In the meantime, we're going to jumpstart this show. Time for Keys to Victory. It is presented to you by National Car Rental. And for that, we make a left turn to Philadelphia, if you don't mind. Thanks to Kyle Schwarber, we saw something that we hadn't seen in more than 4 decades in Philly.
Swing and a fly ball, center field, going back is Church, back toward the wall, it is over! Off the batter's eye, onto Ashford Alley, Kyle Schwarber has just completed an improbable comeback, a 2-run game-winning home run!
You got it, Tommy Mack. I'll tell you how improbable it was. The Phillies were down 4-0, not only going into the ninth, but down to their last out. The last time they came back from a deficit that big, down to their last out, in their final at-bat, was 1983 with a comeback against the New York Mets. And to see Schwarber just stand there and then throw his freaking bat in the air and then throw his helmet in the air and then take 26 seconds to round the bases, awesome.
Did that ball go over the batter's eye? I was trying to see where it landed.
Look at him,
that was
dude.
An absolute bomb.
Look at him. Let's see.
It goes out of frame, so I think it went over the batter's eye, or at least into it, which is if you've been to Philly, which we were just there for the All-Star game, I mean, that is an absolute poke right there. Riley O'Brien cannot believe what just happened.
Well, that is some special stuff.
Yeah, Philly's playing really, really good baseball right now.
Yeah, make it nine in a row.
Yeah.
So they have had the ultimate up and down season, right? In the beginning, they were so bad. Topper gets fired at the end of April. They go on this ridiculous run. Then they struggle a little bit when Bryce Harper and Schwarber couldn't get it going after the home run derby. And now they've won 9 in a row. Do you feel like you have honed in on what Philadelphia is all about, or are you massively confused?
Well, I mean, I feel like I'm honed in on it. They made some adjustments. First of all, going and getting Luis Arraez, and that was going to make a difference in their offense. Very homer forward offense now has a guy that can set the table, drive and runs, get on base, do all those things. I think the biggest thing we've seen is just some of the players who are struggling start to step it up. Alec Boehm's been great. Yep. He's been fantastic for him. In this series, JT Realmuto was very, very good. Schwarber's been doing his thing all year long, but when you have the complementary pieces kind of going, that's going to help an offense, and that's what we've seen. 370 on base percentage in August compared to 303 heading into this month, so through July. That's a completely different team. And you're going to get wins because you're getting more guys on base. Not to mention, now we have the top 3 guys have been great all year long, but Nola's pitched better. Andrew Painter had a really good start in this series. So now it's like, okay, we're getting some length there. That helps the bullpen out. So it's all kind of coming together for the Phillies. And what are they back of the Braves? 3 games back of the Braves?
That's it. And they've got, remember, they play 7 games over a 10-day stretch at the beginning of September.
Man, look out.
Yeah, I think I think there's this image that you want Philadelphia to be because of all the big names. They have as many stars on this squad as any franchise in baseball, maybe outside of the Dodgers, but that's possibly it. I think they're probably tied with the Yankees, to be honest with you, in terms of the big names that they've got left and right. And so I think there's an image that you want Philly to be, and then there's the reality. And the reality of the last few Octobers since they made the World Series in 2022 was that they just continue to take a step back because they're swing and miss. They're all chase when they get to October. Well, this month they have been something that they haven't been. They have been an on-base machine. They have been a low strikeout rate team, less than 15%, best of all 30 teams in baseball in the month of August. So does that mean they're turning over a leaf? No, which means that I am massively confused. They're having an identity crisis. I don't know who they are, but I am so excited to find out because they're going to make it to October, whether that's as the NL East champions, which I still firmly believe they've got a shot at that, or as a wild card team that might have to play at Chicago, in round one. So I can't wait to see, but I will admit I am confused.
I mean, they weren't going to be last in baseball and on base percentage. This team is too good for that. So there was going to be some progression in that regard, and now we're kind of seeing it almost happen all at once. And I don't know. I think this is more of looking like the team. Obviously, 9 in a row is. You're going to go through spurts like that. Is that who they are? No. But like playing better this way, a little bit longer of a lineup, I think this is more of the team that we should expect for them going forward.
Okay. As you mentioned, they're only 3 games back of the Atlanta Braves, who salvaged something in their series against the top team in baseball, the Milwaukee Brewers, and they had to fly all the way to Williamsport, Pennsylvania in order to do it. It was the Braves and it was the Brewers playing in the Little League Classic, which is just freaking awesome. Michael Harris, by the way, a home run. He has now set a career high. I don't know about you. I love everything about this game. I love it that they show up and they hang out with the kids on the bus ride and in the arcade, and then guys go into the stands and join Ravi and Eduardo Perez for interviews. It just feels like it's such a good break at the right time.
I agree. These are the dog days, and to have these two teams,
Yes.
2 top NL teams in there, or 2 of the top NL teams in there is really cool to see. Added some Carl Ravitch kind of like,
yes,
that was pretty cool for Mitchell and Sale to give him his flowers on his way out. And who knows if he's on his way out? I feel like they should try to keep him selectively doing these games. He loves to do it. He's very good at it. But yeah, it really felt great. I mean, there's a lot of cool things that happen. You see Ronald Acuna there signing a bunch of autographs. But I agree. This is one of the, we do some of these one-off games throughout the year, but this one always feels like the most authentic to me.
Yeah, it was interesting. I was scouring a little bit of social media, and some people were saying, I didn't even know this was on the schedule until I saw the game happening. And I felt that way with the Field of Dreams as well. Do you think that our sport has to do a better job of eventizing these and really building them up outside of 24 or 48 hours in advance?
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of the onus goes on to the networks that are hosting these shows. So, like, what's Netflix, what's ESPN going to do? Does Major League Baseball need to be a part of that? Of course. I don't know. I feel like I saw a bunch of stuff for it. I mean, the only other thing you could do is just more of a massive social media blitz. That's how people learn about things these days. It's not like they need to put any more commercials on cable TV or something. It's just, here's the thing, Chris. And this is a society problem right now. There's so many things tugging at our attention. That, yeah, some things are gonna fall through the cracks, even though they're properly. What am I looking for? What's the word I'm looking for? Properly
promoted.
Promoted, yes.
Okay.
There's so much going on.
There is, and we've never, it's never been more full tilt than it is right now in terms of your ability to go here. I mean, we're a perfect example of that. 15 years ago, this isn't even thought about as an opportunity. And now we're smack dab in the middle of it all. I don't know. Let us know a few things about this, Braves and Phillies fans in particular. How do you feel about your respective teams as we head now less than 5 weeks to go in the regular season? We know that you've got those 10 days circled at the beginning of September, which are going to be a ton of fun. We'll have immense coverage on those 2 series that'll happen. But how do you feel about your teams now that are just separated by 3 games? Philly fan, do you feel like you've got a handle on it like Plouffe does? Or do you feel a little bit more like me where I'm kind of all over the place with this squad? So a lot to get to with all of that stuff. Quick reminder, when you rent with National Car Rental, You win at travel. Rent today at nationalcar.com. All right, another big weekend in Chicago as well, where the White Sox continue to just own their home schedule. They took 2 out of 3 from the New York Mets. Both of the victories courtesy of walk-off homers, including one that had somebody shaking, rattling, and rolling in the outfield.
White Sox. As Rogers lifts this one in the air to left center field. It's going back it goes! Let's go!
That's right. Jake Rogers, his first career walk-off homer as he joined his fourth team, it felt like, in about 48 hours. That is Emma Rodriguez, who became a social media star because as she picked up the ball and then just started celebrating afterward, she is jumping up and down with an open purse. So we got a full look into the life of Emma Rodriguez. What did you think of this?
I mean, I thought it was hilarious. All the follow-up to her saying, hey, I got all my stuff back in my purse. We're good. Exchanging the ball with Rogers. I don't know. Just a fun story. This, again, what you said, this wouldn't have happened 15 years ago. This never would have happened 15 years ago. But now that we have social media and everyone can kind of put their story out there, I thought it was fantastic.
Yeah, she played hardball-ish in terms of getting the ball back to Rogers, who wanted it. And boom, there you go. By the way, did I call him Trevor Rogers earlier?
I don't know. I didn't hear that.
I might have. I hope I said Jake, but I might have said Trevor. So if so, I apologize. Anyway, how many people do you think were freezing or slowing down the image to see what fell out of her purse? Like Dan Rourke is doing right now.
That looks like some lip gloss, maybe a external battery charger. What else we got in there?
I don't know.
Pack of heaters, maybe? No one does that anymore.
Stop.
She got all of it back, though.
She did.
That's what she said.
Yeah. And then she shouted out, I think she shouted out Coach. She said it was a Coach purse that was not zip up. So she said if the company wanted to send her one that could zip, she would gladly take it. She's smart.
Hey, other companies, send her one first. Let's go.
By the way, I thought you had to have a clear purse.
Small enough. It can be small.
Oh, that's what it is. It's just the dimensions.
Yeah.
So if it's too big, then it has to be clear purse?
Yes.
Okay. How many clear purses does Olivia have?
We've had to, get some going to the Rams games and stuff. I think right now she's using, I got her a Dodgers, like LA one, just as LA on it, but we got these Hello Kitty clear ones last season at the Rams games, which are perfect for her. So.
Oh, those are adorable.
Yeah, they're adorable.
Yeah, we were in Cleveland over the weekend as I was calling the Browns-Bills game, and Michelle ended up going to the game on Saturday, but we didn't bring a clear purse. So, we're shopping online at Target to see where we can get it. Thankfully, we went over and visited our friends, the Morrises, and Jamie was nice enough to loan Michelle a clear purse.
I love that.
Isn't that nice? That's right. There's $20 in the Rose Bank.
You kept it.
Thank you. We'll save that. Can I get to my question about the White Sox, which is they have the second best home record in the American League. Has that all of a sudden become a tough place to play?
It always has been, Chris. They won 40 games, then 60 games, so no one was showing up because they knew it was going to be horrible. I mean, whenever this team puts together a competitive roster, they show out. Chicago is a fantastic sports city. Wrigley is always packed. And I've said it many times. People ask me, what's the hardest place to play? Chicago is the rowdiest place to play. When you could talk about Philadelphia, you could talk about New York and the bleachers. When the White Sox are good, I heard more stuff there than anywhere else. Mean stuff, good stuff, loud stadiums. They're a hell of a fan base. They're a tough fan base, but again, they support their team.
You had to be careful with the meth heads, the father-son combo that went out and beat up Tom Gamboa. That's where that happened. So you have to dodge those fools too.
PCA getting into a little
good point
scuffle earlier in the year.
Huh? You know what? Does any of it have to do? Dan, just roll back. You don't have to roll it with sound. The Rogers home run. And I know Yankee Stadium's this way a little bit too. But do you think because of the team colors and when they start flashing the lights, it's black and white, it gets scary. It gets down. All right, here we go. We got the home run coming, and then all of a sudden, give it to me. Give it to me when he's rounding the bases. Can we go dark? Did it not happen here? There we go.
Okay.
Here we go. It starts to get a little dark and a little rowdy. I always felt like it got darker. Maybe I'm wrong here.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's just an incredible place to play.
Yeah. Well, this is during the day when Peters goes deep on Sunday. Boy, what a role for him, huh?
Yeah.
5 years ago from a Savannah banana dancing, singing, fun fool to hitting show walk-off homers.
Great year. It's a great year.
Look, their lineup is good. They've had 5 different guys hit walk-off homers this year, which has tied a franchise record. That's pretty damn awesome. I mean, think about it. You only have, 13 guys on your active, everyday playoff roster?
Edgar Caro, Murakami, Tristan Peters, Jake Rogers, and Colson Montgomery. Is that who it is?
No, I think it was Vargas.
Okay, that's right.
Yeah, he hit the one.
Did he do it against the Twins?
No, I think he did it against the Cubs, right? When they were in town. I think that was it.
Let's get with it, Colson. Come on, man.
Yeah, look, it's a fun place to play. It's a crappy stadium. I got to be honest with you. Even when it was new, it was crappy. It just isn't. There's nothing.
Honestly, I've called games there, played there. I haven't really walked around it a ton.
Yeah, there's
nothing around the stadium whatsoever.
No. But of all the newish stadiums that have been built since 1990, like there's some good, decent-looking stadiums, some outstanding stadiums. But and even White Sox fans will admit. But it's the atmosphere that makes the game.
Yeah,
and
Chicago's a great city.
Few places have been better. Their lead over the second place Cleveland Guardians, by the way, 3.5 games. Just to let you know.
Nice sweep, Chris. Nice sweep.
I'll be seeing them tomorrow, and I can't wait. This episode sponsored by T-Mobile. Baseball. It's always been a game of inches. Now it's also a game of seconds. T-Mobile and MLB have teamed up to bring ABS Challenge to all 29 ballparks across the United States. Folks, this is not a minor upgrade. This is the most significant new technology in the history of the sport, and it's all powered by T-Mobile. So with every pitch thrown, ABS Challenge uses real-time precision to verify the call, giving them the support they need. No delays, no guesswork, just accuracy at the speed the game demands. Thanks to ABS Challenge, T-Mobile is helping power the moments that define the game. When performance and reliability are non-negotiable, MLB turns to T-Mobile. And folks, that is not a coincidence. That's what happens when the most innovative network in the country powers the most data-driven sport in the entire world. T-Mobile powers MLB's most ambitious technology, and America's best network powers your connection to baseball. Home or away, every pitch, every game, every day. T-Mobile, it's better over here. All right. It's back. Got a new chapter in the Ketel Marte story. So Marte and his agent met with Torey Lovullo and Mike Hazen, the GM of the Arizona Diamondbacks, at the end of last week. Remember, Arizona was on the road when Marte was a no-show at Fenway Park. Then they eventually put him on the restricted list where he didn't get paid. They have since then moved him to the injured list, and he has started to get treatment. So the 4 people, 2 on Marte's side, 2 from the team, sat down, had their powwow. They broke bread. They aired whatever grievances were out there. Fine. Arizona comes home. They have got a series with the Cincinnati Reds. It starts on Friday night. Ketel Marte, who had his treatment earlier in the day, is a no-show for the game. That's fine. That's within the rules. Where did he show up? At Talking Stick Casino in Scottsdale. That's right. Let's sit at the tables. Let's play a high rollers room if you're a dude like that so nobody can see you, please. Here's Torey Lovullo on that.
The optics wasn't very good, and it's not a choice I would make. It was not. I'm sure it's a choice a lot of people in this room wouldn't make. But Ketel's a grown man and he can make his own decisions. And he did not break any rules. He was fully able to go there and do what he wanted to do.
Any problem?
He nailed it. That's exactly how I feel. Like, the optics are horrible in this situation. Is it okay? Yeah. Like, do you have to rehab 24/7? No, you don't. You get your rehab in, you're done. Your team's at home. You're in the middle of a playoff race. You didn't show up to your series in Boston. So like, yeah, you're like on like kind of a short leash. And this is just, again, horrible optics. Out of the rules, no. And like you can say double standard stuff. I talked with Jake earlier today about like Mike Napoli, pulling an all-nighter in Cleveland, but they were winning and he was doing good, and it just didn't matter because it's funny and you don't never leave a table on a heater. The optics here are different because of what happened last week in Boston, essentially. Like this really would be a non-story. Again, like would I ever do this? No, I wouldn't, because you have to be aware that people are going to take pictures of you, and if you go out to dinner, no one's going to take a picture of you. It's like the negative connotation of a casino. That's what's going to follow you, and that's what your friends, his buddies, should have told him. I honestly don't blame Ketel Marte on this. I know Torrey said he's a grown man, yeah, but when you're in his position, you got these guys around you. Like your friends should be stopping you from making dumb decisions. This was a dumb decision. It was, again, not illegal or not against the rules, but a dumb decision nonetheless. Where are his friends at? Come on, guys. Like that's kind of like your job as a entourage, if you will.
If you're an Arizona Diamondbacks player, does your perspective change?
You can already tell they're pissed and fed up with it by the interviews they've given after the Boston situation. I didn't really hear anybody other than Torrey talk about this situation in particular, but yeah, yes.
I am wondering, is he getting on the phone with Deshaun Watson and getting PR tips from him? Like,
yeah, what is tough for you guys?
What is going on here? What in the world is happening? It is not wrong. Like, hey, I've been to Talking Stick. I've sat at those tables. I'm perfectly fine with going, and I have no problem with gambling. It's legal. It's fine. I would have had the same reaction if he was seen out at a club while the game was going on. I would have wanted, if I was Ketel Marte, I would have wanted to sit on the bench. I would have wanted to start to earn that goodwill back from the fan base, because the cameras would have found him in the dugout, and certainly from my teammates who I know I'm going to have to go to battle with. They have all said the same thing. We need Ketel Marte back. We want him back in the right headspace. We want him here to help us. And this is not his best year. He has not had a Ketel Marte type season at all. But you'd rather have him in the lineup than not. And so he should have taken that. Somebody should have in his family. And I mean family. You mentioned friends, so I consider that family. Somebody should have stood up and said,
I'm looking up his agency. Like, where's your agency at? Like, there's a lot of people in place to help you make good decisions, and this just wasn't.
But shouldn't part of the discussion, they should have brought up the possibility of, hey, what do you think about tonight going to the game and just sitting on the bench with your boys? What do you think about that? And he might have said, no, I'm too hurt. He might have.
Man, I don't know. There's a lot of things that you could have done. Like, go sit at a nice steakhouse and have a dinner. No one would say a damn thing to you. Like go see a movie. Like the casino's just like, it is what it is. It's
look,
it seems like you're on a bachelor party, when you're supposed to be at the game.
Look, you and I understand, you certainly more than me, but I understand it, having been around this game, that guys are allowed certain graces. When they get traded, you have a full 48 hours or whatever it is to report, and you should take that time. If you are injured and you go in for treatment like he did on Friday morning at Salt River at their spring training complex, which is where he was expected to do the work, go do the work, and you have the rest of the day off. I'm just saying that it would have been so good for him and the immediate future with the Diamondbacks to go be at the game.
Just top step in it. Yeah.
Hell yes. Be that dude. And you don't have to be a leader. If you're not a leader, you don't have to be a leader. But you're going to be one of the boys.
You want to hear, a situation just like this? Well, Matthew Stafford, first preseason game. He's not hurt. He's freaking MVP. Like, he's got all sorts of goodwill going with the Rams. Doesn't have to travel to the first preseason game. Doesn't travel. Sean McVay is like, hey, I don't want you standing around for 3 hours. That's not good.
Right.
So he stays home. We're talking about, hey, should we go out to dinner or whatever? He's got it off, and he's just like, let's just stay local, something really low key. I don't want to be putting out there when the game is on. I just feel like it's a bad look.
So did you go out to dinner?
No, because he didn't want it to be a bad look.
Okay, good.
And you know what I mean? Like that's just a better decision right there.
Right.
Better decision.
Man, oh man. So let us know. Are we making more out of it than it is?
Go to Mastro's and have a steak.
I would have ordered in. I got to be honest with you. I would have ordered in. The only two options I would have done is go hang with the boys, which is, to me, the one I would have done. And number two, I would have ordered in. I'm not going out. I'm just not. And I'm definitely not going out to.
If you're at the casino, at least start doing some like body weight squats, some lunges, No, you can't do that?
No, not when you're not being supervised. No, I'm not one of I need full supervision.
I got my butt kicked at Talking Stick Resort.
I hate it because of the smoke.
I kind of respect that.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
It reminds me of my
Californian.
It reminds me of my grandparents in the bowling alley back in the day.
Hey, Trevor, go get me one of those 12-pound balls.
Oh, man. I grew up in a bowling alley, essentially.
Did you have a bowling ball?
I do. I have one right now, yeah.
Well, Josh just got
one. The league.
Josh just got his first bowling ball. And, Josh. Yeah, he'll go with you.
Olivia has one, too.
Oh, yeah. Josh has got size 15 shoe.
Ooh,
you know how hard it is to find? Those are like clown shoes in bowling.
Big shoe. That is. They are. Especially, those bowling shoes.
Yeah. Big time. All right. So obviously a lot to get there with Ketel Marte. By the way, he is going to play for them, right?
Yeah. I mean, they need him. They're 2 games back.
Okay. All right.
How about we talk about Corbin Carroll trying to go 2020? Instead of Marte talking stick.
Okay.
Okay.
You want to mention anything other than that? Be pretty.
He'd be the 5th player to ever do it.
Yeah.
It's Willie Mays. It's Frank Schulte. It is Curtis Granderson, and it is.
Remember Curtis doing
Jimmy Rollins.
Jimmy Rollins did it. Yeah.
That means 20 doubles, 20 homers, 20 steals, 20 triples.
So he is currently at. Please hold. He is at 16 triples. So that's the hard one. 18 homers, 18 steals, and what was the last one?
Doubles is 29. He's already got it.
Oh, well, that
so the triples, that's Corbin Carroll's thing. That's what he does.
Could you imagine if you got 20 triples, homers, steals, and 18 doubles? That'd be pathetic. I'd
rather have more homers than doubles.
Yeah, but less than 20 doubles if you're a full-time player, you shouldn't even be playing.
I used to think about pulling up at third, like instead of going for a triple, I'd be like, I just want to stay at second because I want to stack those doubles. And I realized I was costing myself in OPS points. And I was like, okay.
Did you realize that, or did you realize it after the fact?
I realized it. I mean, I also wasn't like a triples guy, but.
Do you know how many triples you had? Don't look.
Career?
Yes.
Couldn't be more than 3.
Hold on. I'm very slow today on my computer.
I can remember one.
Did you just say it couldn't be more than 3?
Yeah.
You had 10.
Did I really?
You had 4 alone in 2015.
I hit some against the Royals. I think I had like 3 against the Royals. So yeah, I messed that up. My bad.
Come on,
dude.
Look
at me burning.
Don't sell yourself short. That's terrible. Let us know about Ketel Marte, your thoughts. Big deal, not a big deal. What would you have done? How pissed would you be if you're a teammate? A lot to get to there in the comments section. All right, Plouffe is headed to Sacramento to go watch his Twins take on the A's. I am headed to Anaheim on Tuesday for a little content for dugout discussions with Travis Bazzana and to watch my beloved Guardians. We will scour the stadiums, and you know what we'll see? John Boy Media merch in the crowd. And it makes us feel special because we know you have a lot of choices out there. It warms our hearts. And I want to tell you how it gets done. It's done courtesy of our friends at Shopify. The reach doesn't happen by accident. The barrier to starting a real business has basically disappeared. We're talking about no physical storefront needed. There's no massive startup fund. You can build something from anywhere. And once you do, our friends at Shopify make sure the people who find your product actually buy it. Shop Pay. One-click checkout. You're done. You know what that means? Fewer abandoned carts. How often have you shopped for something? You're like, I'll put it in my cart. And then like 6 weeks later, you're like, what is that thing in my cart? That does not happen with Shopify. There's Fewer abandoned carts. There's more completed orders. There's low barrier to get started. There's conversion built right into the platform. That's what makes this whole thing work, people. So you start your free trial at shopify.com/today. Make sure you get her done. Speaking of done, Dana Brown out in Houston. Sorry. Mutually parted ways, people. His contract was running out at the end of the 2026 season. So at this point, the Astros are without a full-time general manager. They have several guys, including Hall of Famer Jeff Bagwell, who's helping out in the decision-making process. Your thoughts about Dana Brown?
I mean, it's an interesting organization because a lot of times the guy that's like top of the, baseball ops pyramid would be a guy like Dana Brown, but I think that he has an owner that is very interested in being involved in some decisions. What was the big one that he nixed? I forget now I'm thinking about it. At the deadline, it was
This year?
Yeah. That Jim Crane said no to. We got to go back and find that. I should have had that up as we're about to talk about. This did just happen this morning.
Yeah. Why don't you look at it? See if we can find it.
Yeah. I don't know. My thoughts on it. Interesting timing. I mean, yes, you lose a homestand. Yes, I think they're one game under 500, but you're still like leading the West. I get his contract was up, but I also don't like what decisions are left this year. Like playoff roster decisions. I don't know how much is like has input there. I feel like that's really the coaching staff at that point. Like, yes, he's going to be involved in those discussions, but like he's not going to be the one making all of the calls. So it's interesting timing. I haven't really wrapped my head around it too much, but he was in a precarious situation, and we'll see kind of how they finish up. I'm still rooting for the Astros. I think they have a chance.
Okay. It's not that big a deal. Like I woke up and I was like, okay. I mean, this feels like the flu in the American League West. David Force got ousted by the Athletics. Perry Manasian ousted by the Angels. I mean, if you're actually a survivor if you're a general manager in the American League West. If you're Chris Young there in Texas and Jerry DiPoto in Seattle, whether you're president of baseball ops or GM, basically a baseball architect is what I'm getting at. Like those are the only two guys that are left in that division. As far as Dana Brown, when he came in, and remember, he worked for Alex Anthopoulos in Atlanta. So you felt like that was going to be his MO and Chandler Rome did a great job laying this out in The Athletic. Go read the column, but I'll give you the bullet points. They thought they were going to be the Atlanta Braves. Young talent on the roster, income to long-term deals. Well, that happened with two guys. Christian Javier, who might have deserved it at the time, but eventually has kind of fallen flat on his face. Plus, he had Tommy John. He just hasn't pitched extremely well. And then the other one was a pillow contract for Jose Altuve. So I don't quite get that, right? They ended up having to trade Tucker. They have not extended Hunter Brown. They have not extended Jeremy Pena. So when it comes to that, it's a failure. Was he able to convince Crane to spend almost $100 million in free agent market on Josh Hader when they hadn't given more than $60 million to any outside free agent prior to that? Yes. So that was a win for them, and we didn't have a problem with it. Hader is obviously, he's been good, great at times, but also missed some time because of injury. And then he brought in a half dozen pitchers onto the major league roster this year. 3 aren't with the organization anymore, and 2 have been pulled from the rotation. So if you were to grade it all, it's like a D+.
Yeah, I mean, did we find that trade they got nixed?
I don't think so. Is Dan still with us? Dan, are you still here? Okay, did you look that up or not? You didn't catch
Wasn't it with our Twins? Yes.
Oh, what was it?
All right, here, I got it up.
What was it?
It would have been Brian Abreu for Trevor Larnach. That's right. That is right. I'm just saying.
I thought you said this massive trade. I was so excited.
No, I mean, I think I just said massive because it involved the guys that I know. It just shows the input. Like, this trade was done.
Okay.
It was done, and then he comes in and says, no, we're actually good on that. It's an interesting place to work. There's no doubt about it. They've had success, though. Can't argue with the success they've had.
Yeah, look, Crane, I believe, is a former baseball player, and he is. I'm not exactly going to call him Jerry Jones at the peak of Jerry Jonesdom.
As far as Major League Baseball goes, he is the Jerry Jones of Major League Baseball.
You're right. He's the closest thing we've got in terms of an owner that has a past in the sport and has an obvious interest in it. You know, the Imai stuff came about in part because they had started to do business with a Japanese company. So that's part of the equation too. I mean, we have to remember, as much as it is a sport, it is truly a business 24/7 as well. You joked about them being under 500. Just a quick question. How worried are you that we're going to have our first ever team in a 162 game schedule have a losing record as a division champ?
I'm not worried at all. I don't, that doesn't matter to me whatsoever. I mean, it is what it is. This is the way it's drawn up. And I think the extra wild card has done its job. Like the way I'm talking about the Twins now, who are 5 games under 500, I'm still like heavily invested in this team.
I'm talking about a division champion. You don't think it's embarrassing for the sport to have a 79 or an 80 win team?
We see it in all the other sports too. We just talked about this, 2 episodes ago. The Panthers hosted the Rams in a playoff game with an under 500 regular season record. It happens. I'm not worried about it whatsoever. I don't think it's like a black eye on the sport or anything like that.
I think at a 17 game schedule,
if you're a team that has a winning record and you're not in the playoffs, you're pissed about it, sure.
But we're not going to have that in the American League.
Not in the American League, but we'll have it in the National League, and they'll be saying, well, why can't we all just be one
happy league? One
conglomerate, yeah.
I think it will be embarrassing if we get to that point. And I don't know if it'll happen. Now, the Astros season series is done with the Rangers. They lost 9 of 13 games. They still have 2 games left with the Mariners. So, okay. I don't know. Maybe it doesn't matter. Does it matter to you as baseball fans? Will it be embarrassing? The closest we've ever come, we had 2 teams that won 82 games each. The 73 Mets, they won 82 and 79, so they must have had a rainout somewhere down the stretch. But they ended up beating the Reds in the NLCS and taking the A's to 7 games in the World Series, and they lost. The 05 Padres, 82 and 80, they ended up losing and not winning a single playoff game as they bowed out in 3 against the St. Louis Cardinals. There's your history lesson. Okay. Let us know. Doesn't bother Plouffe. It's going to bother me if we have a sub-500 division champion in the sport. All right, we still got a little more ways to go after a fun-filled baseball weekend. But first, this word from Trevor.
This episode is brought to you by Fanatics Markets, where fans trade on sports. It's simple. You just pick a game and choose an outcome like which team will win, which player will hit a home run, and more. It's time to get involved in the action. Then buy contracts based on what you think will happen. Yes, if you think it will. No, if you don't. You can buy as many as you want, sell if the price moves in your favor, or let them settle when the event ends. And Fanatics Markets just got even more rewarding with Fan Cash. Now you can earn up to 10% fan cash on your trades, win or lose. You can use it across the Fanatics ecosystem for things like trade credit, the authentic apparel, collectibles, tickets, and more. Fan Cash is Fanatics' currency of sport, connecting trading, merchandise, collectibles, and experiences all in one place. Trade, earn Fan Cash, and unlock more with Fanatics Markets. Event contracts carry risk of total loss and changing prices. Not good for all investors. Not available in all states. Must be 21 or older. See important disclosures in Fanatics Markets app. Customers are introduced to Crypto.com by Paragon Global Markets, LLC, DBA Fanatics Markets, IB, an introducing broker registered with the CFTC and a member of the NFA.
Trevor, thank you very much. All right, a bunch of quick hitters out here. We'll start in the boogie down where the Yanks, they end up taking 2 out of 3 against the Toronto Blue Jays, but New York did make the announcement that Giancarlo Stanton, his season, I'm going to say, might be over, okay? He was rehabbing his, right calf. Suffered a moderate strain to the left calf while running the bases. Here is Aaron Boone on G's importance to the squad.
I admire him so much and who he is and the way he goes about things, and the same rings true for everyone in that room. You know, they look up to him, they respect him. When he speaks, you listen.
If there is no Giancarlo Stanton on the postseason roster, does that mean there is no World Series ring in the Bronx?
Not necessarily, Chris. I mean, the way they've been throwing the ball, they can do that. They need Judge back more than anything.
Yes.
And then when that was going to happen, you got to assume that Judge is going to have to DH a little bit as he gets his legs underneath him. Ben Rice is already doing that. You bring in Luis Garcia. So there could have already been some sort of logjam. I'd be very curious to see how they handle all of those players together, what they would do. But no, I don't think it takes the World Series out of play from them. They're going to have, one of the talking points we're going to have in the AL is the easiest path in recent history to the World Series in the AL. So, that's going to be a narrative there. They still have the team to get it done. Are they going to miss Giancarlo? I mean, look, a 926 career OPS in the postseason. We've seen him go off for the Yankees. Are they going to miss that? Sure, because if you follow the playoffs, there are certain guys that just love it, and they show up in the big moment. He's been one of those guys, but it doesn't take him out of the World Series, in my opinion.
No, it does not at all. But this could be the nightmare scenario. And let me just paint this. Being from Cleveland, this is usually the way we look at things in our sports lens. Let's say they don't win the American League East, and they are in the 4-5 matchup, and they are hosting Boston for a second straight year. Game 1, got to deal with Sonny Gray. So Stanton, maybe he gets a late at bat if there's a lead. I don't know if Crochet is going to end up pitching for Boston, but you would have Aroldis Chapman. Let's say pinch hitting. There's nobody you would want more off the bench in October than Giancarlo Stanton against that. That's how I paint it. But let's say the Yankees offense gets stymied in game 1 by Sonny Gray. Let's say it's 3-1 or 3-2 and they lose. And so their season comes down to game 2 and they have to face Ranger Suarez. Well, now Yankees fans will say, well, it doesn't matter. We've got Paul Goldschmidt there. I got it. You'll have Judge back and right, presumably. Paul Goldschmidt can play first. I don't think you would ever sit Ben Rice. You would probably make him the DH, but you would at least like to have the opportunity to have the decision. Because just imagine what the talk shows are going to be like that morning if Stanton is available, if he's not available, how they're going to feel. I'm just saying that those are some worst-case scenarios. And that's actually a good thing for the Yankees that we're talking about worst-case scenarios. I don't think at the end of the day, it's the difference between making the World Series, winning the World Series, not winning the World Series, not making the World Series. But it is definitely going to be part of the narrative at some point in October.
Yeah, I at least feel like I'm happy that people are kind of realizing the type of player Stanton is and kind of giving him his flowers. And he's one of the better athletes we've ever seen in this sport.
Mm-hmm.
Like ever.
Yeah.
So he needs that credit. I know lately he's been a guy can't stay on the field. He's brittle, all these things. Yeah, go stand next to him and tell me he's brittle. Okay. You won't.
Well, you're not going to say it to him, but he has.
Yeah, you won't. I know, but I mean, this guy's was a 3-sport star in high school. He's a hell of an athlete.
No, nobody's questioning his athleticism.
I think people forget how good Stanton is when they go say, "Oh, he was great in the playoffs for the Yankees." He also won an MVP. This guy's he's real deal. He used to be able to fly out in center field and play a little bit of defense.
Yeah, he's one of the. I mean, and they just don't build guys like that in the outfield. Now the Yankees have 2 of them, but for the most part, they don't build those guys in this league. Let's head out to Seattle, where the Cubs they whooped up on the Mariners. God Almighty, was that ugly on Sunday. But let's talk about the good stuff for the Mariners because we haven't been doing that very often. Randy Arozarena, what a game he had on Saturday. He led off the game with a home run, and that was merely the beginning.
High lift off the bat of Amaya. Arozarena is at the wall. He leaps, and Randy Arozarena just took a home run away. Fly ball. This is tagged. Center field. PCA can't get it. What has happened in Seattle?
Yeah, that was fun. And then on Sunday, he led off the game with a home run. He was doing some PCA shit out there, so that was great. He also this weekend joined the 2020 club for the 6th straight season. Only other guys to do that, Barry and Bobby Bonds, Bobby Abreu, and Willie Mays. Is Randy underappreciated?
I think we do a good job of giving him appreciation. I'm very curious to see how his free agency goes. He'll be 32 before the start of next year, but he's coming off obviously a really good year. He's been consistent. His body looks great. I don't know. I think people know who Randy is and appreciate him. I do.
But I mean, when you're talking about the best outfielders in the game, his name never comes up.
Yeah, it did this year. It has this year. On our all JM team, he's been a staple on it. So, I think he gets the right amount of adoration.
I think you're right about it. I'll be curious to see. Now, this year, obviously, with the impending work stoppage, free agency could be a total mess. I think in a normal year, if it had been last year and he was coming off this type of season, I think it would have been fascinating to see. Because he does do a lot of things well. There's also there's sometimes where he's out there and you look at him and he's like, can you go get the ball? Like,
yeah, you can run all over him.
Yeah. Like that sort of stuff will drive you nuts. But he is an amazing talent. And his 2020, I know it's hard to go back to this because the stands were basically empty, but his 2020 postseason was certifiably insane, right? He had 10 of his 12 playoff homers in 2020. You could not get that guy out. Now, he's hit only 2 other homers. I mean, the guy's played 45 postseason games. So he had one remarkable run. And other than that, it's just been kind of nondescript. But I think he's a really solid player. I think if your team paid him for, I don't know if I'd want to pay him for 4 years. I'd pay him for 3 years. And
what's the holdup over the 4th year? Who cares?
I don't know. I just wouldn't feel good about it. Because I think if I paid him for 3 years, I'd expect 2 decent ones and one.
Why?
I'm telling you, on the way that I analyze talent, that's how I'm doing it. It's my team. Get off.
Okay.
Get off me. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong there. Dodgers get a bad break with one of their outfielders, literally, as Andy Pages gets hit by 100. Ouch. Right on the wrist. 4 to 5 weeks he's going to be out. He did have a screw inserted into his surgically repaired left hand. Level of concern here. What is it?
I mean, pretty high. Pretty high. I mean, you hope he can come back for the postseason. I guess that's what they're hoping. But I mean, we're coming up on that very quickly. And he's a guy that can affect the game, obviously, on both sides of the ball. Game-saving catch in the World Series last year. Like, he's one of my favorite center fielders in the game right now. Mm-hmm. The way he throws and just the way he moves out there. He's had a hell of a year. So, yeah, I mean, it's a big blow to the lineup and their defense if he's not able to come back this year.
Yeah, he's one of the game's bigger center fielders, and he moves pretty gracefully out there. He's really a good defender. Now, he is an all-star this year. He hasn't been as good in the second half, but it hasn't fallen off. Like, I mean, it's mid-700s OPS compared to mid-800s, I think, in the first half. Interestingly enough, I think most people forget he did not start games 6 and 7 of the World Series. He was a defensive replacement. He was really struggling at the plate, and so in 2 games that the Dodgers had to have in order to repeat as champions, he didn't start. But boy, did he finish.
Yes.
Boy, did he finish. It's really one of the catch itself, in terms of degree of difficulty, won't ever be judged as one of those really challenging ones. But just with as much was on the line and the fact that Kike was trying to take his knees out, it really was sensational. They're going to need him. I know they've got other guys, including Kike, including Tommy Edman, who we think is probably healthy enough to patrol center field. They've got guys that can do it. You want him in October, though. There's no question about that. Speaking of great catches by center fielders, Jacob Young. Holy smokes. How do we grade this one out?
Technically, this is about as good as it gets. I mean, having to go up, somehow find your hands like in the notches of that chain link fence to pull you up. And then he actually had to hang up there just a little bit longer to wait on the ball, but still kept his height on the fence. I mean, it's about as good as it gets. I mean, it takes into a lot of different kind of attributes you have to have as a center fielder. You see him get up there. He has to be strong enough to pull himself up, got to be able to track that ball, jump at the right second. I mean, that's an incredible catch.
Have you been, that's not chain link, is it? That's just video board, right?
No, there's like a little in front of it that's like tiny, it's like small opening chain link.
Oh, damn. I always worry about that. The guys are going to get their cleats caught in that shit. That's what I would, that's the dad in me. That's the John Boy Media dad. It's a sensational catch. Is it the Joe Adele 9th inning picture that came with it catch? No, but that is an A++ catch. And he seems to make 1 or 2 or 3 a year.
Yeah, he's been fantastic out there.
Last thing, we know we're right around the corner from the NFL season, which means you're all trying to do your fantasy drafts. We talk with Ernie Clement, by the way, in Dugout Discussions that's just been released about how the Blue Jays picked their fantasy squad, and they had guys from the organization who were behind the scenes throw and see how fast they could go, and that's how you would be corresponded with a player. I know I'm not exactly explaining this, but watch the thing with Ernie Clement. He does a better job. Anyway, the Red Sox determine their fantasy football by having team employees wear jerseys of the players they would represent in the fantasy draft for order and have them run around the bases as fast as they could. Do you like this idea?
I love it. I'm terrified for each of these guys. They're going to blow out, but I love it. It's great. That's a great team bonding. Everyone's laughing, having a good time right there. And that guy was scooting right there.
So back in the day when you were a member of the Twins and you could have handpicked somebody in the organization, be it a clubby, be it a trainer, coaches I think should be off limits, particularly guys who might have retired recently. I'm talking about guys around the organization. Who would you have picked to run around the bases for you? I know I'm putting you on the spot.
There's not a lot of, guys that just jump out to me as far as athletes.
My guy Mike Herman isn't a good athlete?
No, he's a pitcher, so no, he's not.
Dustin Morse, not a good athlete?
I would have thought about Dustin Morse. One of the Bat Boys. I don't know. How about Chef Matt? Come back out from the kitchen and run around a little bit. I like to see.
Could Chef run a little bit?
He's got an athletic frame. I probably would have gone Dustin Morse though, if I had to choose, because I would have just wanted to put him on the spot. I used to run the fantasy football drafts.
Oh, he did when
I was there, and I had a great time doing it. I don't really remember how we came up with our draft order though. I think that was more of like a random thing, pick it out of the hat ish.
No, this is way better.
I like it. Yeah, we get more creative. My fantasy football draft parties though,
off the charts good.
That was a good commish. I was.
Have you done the one where Brady helped you with the draft a couple of years ago yet, or no?
That's coming up. And a week from today, we have our draft.
Do you need Brady's help or no?
I don't pay attention anymore to that. I'm just strictly a Rams fan. I have no idea what's going on.
Okay, Brady will help you.
Okay.
He's here. Just reach out to him.
All right.
You guys have dueling mustaches at this point, so you guys can be Team Stash or whatever. All right. Fun show. A lot of energy, a lot of stuff going on. Plouffe travels safely to Sacktown. You'll be joining us from Northern California. Oh, there you go. That's
I got to go. I got to get to the airport. Let's do it.
Oh, that's it. For our one-of-a-kind producer, Dan Rourke, the uber-talented and traveling Trevor Plouffe, I am Chris Rose. We'll see you Tuesday on Baseball Today, presented to you by T-Mobile.